Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and the channel is Everyday Card Collector. We are here for episode 10 of Mount Rushmore with my good friend Aaron from Value Vintage. How are you, sir?
Doing excellent. Great to see you again.
Yes. This is going to be a fun one. So we've got a fairly new channel on, great guy, and the topic is it was tougher than I thought.
Yes.
For several reasons that we'll get into. But why don't we get our guest on and we'll talk about, well, actually, you know what? You want to go over the rules first?
Sure.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
And I think on this one, it's very important because one of my picks really is leaning into the rules. So that's why I don't think we're all going to agree.
Can I guess that when we get to that point?
I think you're leaning on the rules here. So rules of the game, we pick a topic. Really, our guest picks the topic, and we make sure that it's something that can be done with Mount Rushmore rules. But we're going to go through and pick our top four, and we'll go through. Guest starts. He'll show the first one. If we agree, we will also show. If we have it as an honorable mention, we'll pick a few of those and we'll show as well. If we don't have it, we don't have it. And that's one of the big rules is you have to have the card to be able to make the pick. So your Mount Rushmore could be influenced based on what is in your collection.
That is correct.
So yeah, we'll have the top four, and I've got a whole bunch of honorable mentions because today's topic is I want to be very specific on the rules. Should I go ahead and say what the topic is?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, go for it.
So our topic is athletics. Period.
Perfect.
Leaning into that. Yeah.
Well done. I will tell you this. I was going in the wrong direction initially and had a 180 after we had a little chat. So, but why don't we get our guest on? I don't want to keep him in the back too long. And our guest is Cardboard Coach Neal. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for jumping on with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Before we kick off, why don't you tell everybody, I know you're a newer channel, tell everybody a little bit about your channel and what you like to collect in general.
So I've been watching YouTube for a year and a half, 2 years, and including YouTube Gentlemen. It's an honor to be here, by the way. And I decided, I kind of early on to start my own and just never got around to it. I know I was, my wife wanted me to do it. It's time, not spending money in the hobby and other things, right? So I was trying to think of a cool name, and she's like, well, a lot of things. You got some great cards. I said, I'm just an everyday card collector. And I realized that was gone, and she's like, well, what do you like to collect? And I said, I'd like to find good value, preferably in vintage. And she's like, how about value vintage? I said, that's gone too. So I came up with my little league. I was known as Coach Neal. I just added a cardboard in front, and I'm wearing actually a little league coaching game used t-shirt. So
that is perfect for this episode, by the way.
Exactly.
If anybody forgets the topic, please read Neal's shirt. That's the topic. Well, so you are somewhat familiar with this. We always let the guests go first. You've got all of us each have picked four, and we'll go through honorable mentions later. If there's a match, we'll then show our match, and if an honorable mention matches someone's Mount Rushmore, we'll go ahead and show that as well. So perfect. We'll let you. I think we're going to keep it in this mode, the three of us like this. I think that works out well. So okay, we'll let Neal kick it off and go ahead. So who is the first on your Mount Rushmore of athletics?
So this was tough, as you guys pointed out, and I'm the knucklehead who came up with the Mount Rushmore. And as soon as I did, I'm like, this is. But, challenging is good. It makes you think, throw some personal opinion in there and this and that. So, it was tough because you got the Philadelphia A's, Kansas City Athletics, really nothing there, but you never know, all the way to Oakland. And there's been periods of greatness, throughout the history of the franchise. But there wasn't like any long, steady Athletic. Philadelphia all the way to Oakland or beyond. You never know. So right. I'm going to start off. I'm going to pick someone that I think all three of us will have. I'll make it easy just because I'm, first timer.
Perfect.
So this guy, by many, he's got a ring with the Athletics. He has an MVP. Considered by most people probably the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. And, 860 some stolen bases with the Athletics in 14. That's a career.
Yep.
for anyone but Ricky Henderson, because he ended up with over 1,400, I think.
Yep.
But that's who it is, Ricky Henderson. So start off with the rookie that many people have, but he doesn't have obviously a lot of post-war cards. But 1980 is the set. I love the design. It's not my favorite of the 80s, but special with being a Phillies fan, and then got that, and just this is actually a really cool issue. 1990 Donruss, the American League All-Stars.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you can see that. It's Topps Archives. You gotta love modern players and like an older design. I'm still a big fan. And then I had like 20 or 30 Hendersons. I pulled out 4.
That's fine. I don't want
to bore you guys to death. So
he's got a lot of cards. I did the same thing. I think I pulled 4 or 5, and I didn't go too crazy. But I think if we're making a Mount Rushmore and it's athletics, I think this was the go. Well, I actually believe we'll talk about that later. But this is right. I'll let you go, Aaron. So, so my question is, Aaron, do you have a match?
Well, yeah, I think you hit on some of the really key ingredients of what makes this interesting and fun, because you were quoting his statistics, not necessarily career, but as an athletic. And I think that's what makes this tough, because I literally in front of me have a dozen players. And when you pull them, you're like, he played for the A's, and you're looking like, well, he played for the A's for half his career. So like, as an athletic, is he a Mount Rushmore of the athletics? As a player, it changes. I feel like I'm looking through and I'm like, they have the second best first baseman ever. They have the second best second baseman ever. But they weren't completely athletics. They have probably the greatest leadoff hitter ever.
Yeah.
And I would agree. He is on the athletics Mount Rushmore. So I tried to pick some fun stuff. I picked, what is this, an 85 Mother's Cookies. I actually have my biggest Henderson card on the way. I feel like that's the one thing. This will like leak into your brain, and you're like, darn it, do I have enough Hendersons? And then you start finding another one you don't have. But a couple of those, I think the images, the uniform is ridiculously great. Much like you're wearing.
Yeah.
Pulled his minor league card. So we're not quite athletics at that point, but athletics organization. And then, I was actually going through and criticizing my cards on the some of my last videos, but that's a 5. That's the world's best 5. So
that looks nice from this angle.
That is value vintage 9. That's
looks
gem
good
mint.
from there. Yeah,
value vintage gem mint.
That's pristine. Yeah. Where's the mark? Yeah, absolutely. Ricky has to be on there, and even for his A's career, he's up there. So,
absolutely.
So I will say I am a match as well. This is to kind of piggyback on Aaron's point. This is the first time in doing my research I was researching players just with that team, because previously on other teams and things of that nature, we went, I think we did the Astros and said, well, Nolan Ryan, he played, but he's still Nolan Ryan. I think Ricky kind of falls into that category. I think when most people think of Ricky, they think of the A's. I mean, you might get the Yankee guys saying, nah, he was a Yankee, but at the end of the day, I don't really look at him as a Blue Jay, right? I mean, I just don't, aside from the Olerud story where you didn't even know he was talking to his first baseman. But other than that, this one I really dove into, which I love it because Neal started it. You added to it, and I'm going to add to it. So yeah, you're correct, Neal. 867 home runs as an athletic. I'm sorry, stolen bases, 1406 for his career. So a WAR of 72.7 as an A of his 111.2 total WAR as a player.
He's athletic. He's an A.
12 and a half to 13 years with the team, because I know there was a half year in between where he was MVP, 1990 MVP. But the fun thing is we haven't all picked a lot of the same stuff, which is nice. So there's the 84.
That's a great card.
I went 85.
Yeah.
And I had to dig through sets for some of these, because I haven't dug this stuff out in forever. Now we got him with the Yankees. I picked a couple up with the Yankees. I'm terrible with the 80s, guys. This is 89. 89, Neal, you'll know. Is that 89?
That's 89.
Yeah,
that's
89. Yeah.
Okay. And I got to look at all of them. This is, 92?
88.
88. I'm sorry,
Yep.
88. Wow, look at that. Look at the pre-war guy knows all these 80s cards better than me. I feel ashamed now.
Well, they are vintage. Technically.
Yes, they are. You are correct.
Yeah, they are vintage.
I'm with you on that. All right, so easy enough. We're all a match on our first pick, right?
All right, perfect.
So now we'll go to you, Aaron, and we'll kind of round robin it.
Yeah. So an 88's 11-year-old Aaron. So Aaron's going to know 1988.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So that's wheelhouse.
I was 15, so I was just on the verge of girls and booze. But we won't go too far into that.
Yeah, different end of the world.
Yeah.
I will go with, talk about athletics and careers and whatever else. I'm going to go with the guy that I will say is the greatest left-handed pitcher ever. Don't know where you guys fall on that, but I pulled several because he's in my core 5 or so. It's not a card, that's a cutout, but it's autographed, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree, Jason.
I tried to keep myself to my definition for myself to make it fun was they had to be with the Athletics. So the W554, which I absolutely love, gets a little washed out because it's so darn big, but that's a phenomenal image. Almost the same as the other picture, but let's see. Do I have? No, I didn't pull the other thing with it. You can pick up these are actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, they really are. That's a set I've really been diving into lately because it's an affordable set of getting some great players.
Yeah, and that's really his rookie. It's a 27.
Right.
Or a rookie. I'll go with that.
Is that a W560?
W560, yeah.
It's a playing card, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a hand-cut playing card. It's kind of a weird combo of things. This one is, with him, I've got a few bigger ones. So Uncle Jack's Candy.
Yeah.
That's a great, that's an issue I don't have. That's tremendous card.
That's an issue I don't have besides that one. U.S. Caramel.
Sweet.
So he's a lot of my box ones. DeLong is sideways, of course.
I love it. I love it. That's a beautiful card.
And first time showing because I just got it.
Wow.
Oh, really? Fantastic.
Yeah. George C. Miller. That's a tough issue.
Yeah.
It's a 2, which normally I'm not a grade person, but a 2 for these that's almost like a Venezuelan.
Absolutely.
These are rough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a great card.
So thank you. I'd have to put Lefty Grove there. I mean, he's 300 wins. I've been able to deep dive a little bit. I mean, he really should have had 390 wins or something, but they literally wouldn't sell him to the major leagues because he was so good in the minors, and that's how it worked back then.
Right.
So he's got a whole different level of things, but he has 7 ERA titles, 7, 8. I mean, it's ridiculous dominance. So just phenomenal career.
And just on the edge of the bulk of his career was with the Athletics. I think he was 9 with the Athletics, 8 with Boston, if I'm not mistaken, when I did my research.
Yeah, and I think he's because the Athletics have all the players so split. If you were to pull it by WAR, I think he still falls kind of in the top 3, 4, 5, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, and I think he's he's definitely the top 4, at least on the list I saw.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I'm a match. He was on my list as well. We've highlighted him again. I hate to keep bringing up past episodes. We highlighted him on, was it left-handed pitchers? I think it was left-handed pitchers, right?
Yeah.
So I had nothing at the time, and I scrambled. So I have these two, and this is a modern card, vintage player on a modern card, Topps Chrome Heritage, which I showed on the previous episode. Aaron, you can help me with 78 or 76. I always forget. 78?
I think
76.
76. Okay, 76. Yeah. So these were the two that I showed on that particular episode. I didn't own a Playing Days Lefty Grove, and it's high on my list, but I own one now. That will be debuted for the first time on this channel. I have yet to show it.
It's fun.
For those who know me, I'm the everyday card collector, and I'm always looking for a value. So if you need a Playing Days card of this particular player, and Lefty doesn't really come cheap. He's pricey. Mm-hmm. I picked this up for under $30. So this is the R311 National Chickle Boston Red Sox team photo.
Very nice.
So we've got Lefty in the second row right here, and I'm not giving the finger. There he is right there.
Yeah.
And then you also have Joe Cronin, another Hall of Famer on this. So I bought this, for those who don't know, we did have a heads up on this episode, but we kind of pushed it back, and I bought this right before I left because I was on vacation, and it came when I came home yesterday. It was in the mail, so that worked out perfect. So and again, my third premium national chickle.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that, and my first playing days. Now I will definitely get more of Lefty.
Yes.
I love. There's so much more awesome stuff, just like you were showing. But much like you said, I think his total WAR is like 106 or 107. I jotted 65 with the A's, so that's pretty solid. To almost 200 of his 300 wins were with the Athletics.
Yeah.
So I mean, just as solid as they come. So I was pretty pumped to show that. I'll probably do a video on it anyways, but I figured I'd debut it on this episode, just like you had a debut, I got to debut. So that's fun stuff. So
That is fun.
yeah, I'm there with you.
Nice pickup.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And we'll think about that. He had 68.4. I just pulled it up because I had it close. 68.4 WAR, which is already a Hall of Fame career. He did that in 9 years.
Right.
That's the part that's insane. Like he's on the Rushmore and like not even eligible for the Hall of Fame length of time.
Correct. Absolutely.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, sir. Neal, is he a match for you?
He is. So
All
far, it's like a Chuck Woolery, 2 for 2.
Yeah, we'll be back. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So I think you showed this. I mean, I have a couple playing days, but did you show this card? I thought
yes. Yours is the X Fractor. Mine's just the base.
Yeah. All right.
Mine is the base.
And this is my first Lefty Grove as a kid.
There you go. So no wonder you knew everything about him then.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So that whole set was great, and I just found out that this year, I think it's in Heritage, they have the all-time All-Stars again, same design, different players. So I gotta check those out. I don't really buy blaster boxes or anything like that, but I'll buy modern cards every now and then if I see one. Like this is a Topps archive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Just when you see stuff like this for $1, you got to take it. So
that's exactly right. Right.
But here's something I'll get to the 2 cards in a second, but this is just so cool. It's a 1933 safety glass brochure with Lefty Grove demonstrating, and it opens up, it folds out. It was given out at the 1933 World's Fair, and I've seen these on eBay actually. They're like $15. But it's a cool. Yeah, that's him. I mean, it's just a cool. There's nothing on the inside, so I thought I'd show that. But
I'm gonna get that. That's cool. You just inspired me. So.
1933 Lefty Grove safety glass. You'll probably see a few of them, but this is I like exhibit cards. I've always had a fascination with them. This is my only 4-in-1. This is a 31 to 32 Athletics. I can't tell with the glare, but you got Fox, Cochran, Grove, and I think Mule Haas, and it's got a nice green tint. These are like sepia tone or sepia. I've heard both pronunciations, but they have different types of tint. Some are pink. I like this one. This one is cool because sometimes they're postcard back or blank back. This was actually showing you what prizes you could get. I don't know if you can see that.
Cool.
And then right down here, you would cut that coupon. And it's right down in here. You cut the coupon and send it in, you get one of these prizes. It's kind of a cool piece. It's a nice little image of Lefty right there. Then I love this issue. Let me get 2 hands and lift it up. And this is the Butterfinger. So it takes up the whole thing. But it's Rick Pose. Oversized, I think, is finally starting to get recognized, which is good.
You can blame Aaron for that.
Yeah. It's interesting because there's a show that I sometimes set up at, not as much lately, but I usually will attend it. It's so close. And one of the only vintage guys there, I was talking to him. He has this stuff. And about 5-6 months ago, he was telling me he couldn't get rid of it. Now it's, I'm seeing more pieces. And he's like, yeah, I've been selling. He's like, they're watching these 2 guys on YouTube, and that's all they're wanting to buy is big cards. So
Aaron was the trendsetter.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I jumped on that train, and I've been on it for about 3 months now.
Yeah, you know what? It's under the radar. I mean, there's Gaudis are out there. I mean, and everyone wants them, but
Yeah.
this is the kind of stuff. I mean, it's just I like the interesting things.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Great value.
No, and that card's high on my list as well as other. There you go.
Let me just toss that out there because I've got this crazy red one. That's a 29. I don't know. I know they're issued in different years with different combinations.
Years. And sometimes PSA gets it wrong. This is 31 to 32.
Okay.
There's some good. You Google the exhibit supply company, and you can get a lot of really good information. Same with Net 54.
Yeah.
And a lot of collectors, they agree on something. Sometimes they think it's this, but that's the knowledge. Keeping it coming in, it's always good.
Yeah, it's crazy when people can update and know more than what we knew 10 years ago for something that's from the 30s, 20s or something. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So we are all buttoned up here, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. We got these right.
And I'm up next, right? So
you are up.
All right. Well, this is going to kind of piggyback on, and all you need is a card of the player. And I'm prefacing that before I go too far. But this is going to piggyback on the comment that Neal just made a couple minutes ago. He said, well, when you see something like this for $1, you just got to buy it, right? So my player is probably one of the most prolific hitters in MLB history, right? At least I consider him to be. But everything he's wearing on the 2 cards that I have is not athletics. So my guy is Jimmy Fox. And this is an upper deck card, and I couldn't even tell you the year because I can't read that small writing. But to piggyback on what Neal was saying, I was at a show not too long ago, and these were in a quarter box. A set of a bunch of vintage players or pre-war players on modern cards for $0.25 a piece, and I bought like 10 of them, and this was one of them. The reason I bought it is at the time I didn't have a Playing Days Jimmy Fox. But if we all know, if you watch me, now I do. And look at that. There's another National Chickle Premium. So absolutely love this. It's just a beautiful, beautiful image. Again, he's with Boston at this point in time, but still just a beautiful, right? Yeah, I think he is, right, Aaron? I saw you kind of.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. Yeah, 30. Well, I mean, it's a 36 issue. 35, he was with Philadelphia.
Okay.
So technically, the way baseball cards work,
he would be with Philly.
Would be a 35 season. So yeah.
Yeah, he would be with Philly then. So, but yeah, just a beautiful image. I've shown this. I put it on Instagram. I absolutely love this. Aaron has one as well. It's the first time I saw it, so that was his inspiration for me to go out and find that. Did you find this one for me? Did you find it online, or did you send it to me? I'm like, I gotta have that, or did I send it to you? I can't even remember anymore.
I don't remember. I know I had it. I was watching it. I think you might have found it. And
right.
You did. Yeah.
And just the difference for those who don't know, this is a little bit different finish. This is the leather finish as opposed to the glossy, which was the Boston, which was the earlier one that I showed was a glossy, and there is a textured finish to it. So it almost looks that way on the stock too. It's kind of got a leather stock to it. So
yeah.
But yeah, what can I say? Let's see. What are we looking at here? So 93 WAR over his career. 62, and I'm rounding, 61 or 62 as an A. 11 of his 20 years in baseball was with the A's, 2 MVPs of his 3 were with the A's, Triple Crown winner in 33 with the A's, and 302 of his 534 home runs were with the A's. That's what I was kind of showing. Lifetime average of 325. So just a great bat, and not much you could say. And kind of, in my opinion, and I'll let you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong, I feel he's a little undervalued for who he was and what he did in the hobby.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just, so there's, initially you look at the prices of this card and you go, that's a little bit of cost, depending on what your budget is. But at the end of the day, with what he did, he's actually kind of a little undervalued in the way I see it, based on his career. So,
yeah.
So that's my third guy. So do we have a match, Neal?
We are 3 for 3.
There we go.
So right. I kind of was wondering. I'm like, this may be. I was thinking 2 or 3 definitely.
Yes.
It might be. I mean, it might be 4, but yeah. So Again,
It won't be.
that's right. I think he's the got something up your sleeve, probably.
Yeah, I might.
That's the beauty of it. So for $1, you can't beat a Topps archive. I mean, it's just a great image.
Yep.
For about $3, this was 2010, but look at that image. I mean, this is modern stuff. It's an upper deck, or actually it's Topps, but it's like an old diamond star.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, great image. So I got those, but here's I don't know which one to show first. So I'll show this one. So this is the 1939 Gaudi Premium, and this is a great set. And it's interesting because with your catcher pose, Jason, I think sometimes I think he's a Philadelphia Athletic in this particular photo. I could be wrong. It's kind of photoshopped out in either the Boston or the A,
Right.
Because it looks as if it's like probably a road uniform, but it's a great image. And the great thing about these is the back.
Yeah.
With either pitching or hitting tips. It's just, and again, these kind of issues, they fly under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for instance, he's not an athletic, but one of the greatest Joe DiMaggio cards out there is this issue. Again, just my opinion, but
yeah,
the next two are kind of the same, but one, well, I'll start with the actual card. This is the Works to Guard 33. Yeah. Great set. They're kind of tough. They don't come up too much. I mean, I think it's more of like a regional type of set out of Minneapolis. And, again, just a blank back, but a great image. And this came with it. It's the cutout. It's a Type 1 photo. At least what the guy said. I was just buying this. This is kind of just a free thing, but there is a stamp down there. There is some printer marks, and it's almost like he did cut it out too. But that's those are my foxes right there. So
beautiful.
I want to get a 38 Gaudi. I think it's one of his best looking ones, but haven't found the right example yet.
Yeah, and that set gets pricey. That's a pricey set. So
yep.
So Dazzle, my friend, are we a match?
We are not.
Wow. All right.
I agree. Underappreciated, undervalued, under everything. He is ridiculously phenomenal. Second best first baseman ever. You railed it off his stats. He's 61.2 WAR in his Philadelphia career. Here's what's going to blow everyone's mind is his last season with Philadelphia, he was 27 years old.
Right. Didn't he start at 17 or something 17, like that?
I think, yeah.
But you think about, 27, like some of the guys are finally figuring it out, and he's basically already a Hall of Famer at that stage.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
His accomplishments are phenomenal. He did not make it for me, and it's really only because his career was just split enough. He had a solid 7 years and legitimate time in Boston. As a career, he'd probably be, if it was players that ever had a uniform on, I'm probably putting him on.
Right.
And I collect him big. There's a awesome Diamond Stars. There's your cash in. I'm going to go
great
rapid fire. It is, which is super cool.
Oh, it's awesome.
Another catcher opportunity, W517, another set I love.
Great set.
That's the Aaron set. That's what I've designated the Aaron set, the 517.
Just barely oversized for those that are on the fence. That's a good the oversized world. Another set, if you're looking for something fun, is DeLong.
Yeah, another great set.
It's a cool image. These, I'll go buddies on that one. You can go the U.S. or the Worldwide Gum issue for Fox, which is a cool opportunity to get something that's a little bit more scarce and unique.
Absolutely.
And then actually I'll toss this in. Well, no, I'll wait. I'll leave that alone. I'll be good. I got more I can go to, but I'll keep that in the bullpen for a minute.
So we are not a match. He was obviously an honorable mention.
Yeah.
So then you have Neal's next. He's only got one more. I have one more, and you'll have two more. So we're gonna go with Neal for his fourth then.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is. I mean, this one. I knew he was going to be on the Mount Rushmore. I just didn't know where, and I was just like, I'm just going to just name them as I go. But that's. I think he had 280 wins with the A's, and like I think 326, maybe 325 overall, and that's he 3-time World Series champ, and I got to go Eddie Plank. So this is a great image, iconic image. That's not a T206. If I had one, I'd probably sell it and buy a lot more cards. But I love this kind of stuff. It's affordable. I like the game cards. I'm kind of working on a little game card set. It's nice little back. Let me see. He's a stolen base actually up here. So
okay.
These are the kind of cards you have them face down, you draw, you shuffle them. The other card is a team card. And this is he's all in, Waddell's in there, Plank, Connie Mack, the $100,000 infield. These things are a real big value in my opinion. I don't know if you can see that, but it's hard
100%.
to tell.
Great value.
Yeah, it's just a real nice back, but that's my Mount Rushmore. So those are my two Eddie Plank examples.
So then the question would be, so now we're going to you, Aaron. Is he a match?
Well, and I'm glad you busted out the Fatima there. There's at least 5 Hall of Famers on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is just phenomenal. Bender, Plank, Collins, Mack. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, Plank. So
is Waddell on there?
Well, he is.
Yeah,
is he?
Waddell.
I believe so.
I don't know. I'll have to double check, but
I believe he is. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he was still with him at that point. The thing, everyone thinks I'm still from Chicago, but I'm not, and I'm actually half an hour from Gettysburg, and I've been to Gettysburg Eddie's restaurant, and it's all stuff just dedicated to Eddie Plank decor and memorabilia and cool pictures, and it's really, really neat. So yeah,
his grave site is phenomenal.
Yeah,
if you've been there.
I've not been to his. No, I need to.
It's I was there once. A buddy of mine lives out that way as well. So I didn't know you were so close, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we might be close enough to hit a show together. We'll see.
Yeah. Who knows?
I will show 4, and I do have the T206.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah. So that's legit, right? Well,
I know one.
That's from childhood, but
I was thinking, man, this guy has it all.
Right.
Well,
look at what fantastic shape it was in.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Why
Butler, please go put that back in the safe. No, that's not my experience. I'm still a teacher. So yeah, end of the day, it's fun to see this though, because this was they were saying 50 to 75 exist. This is probably from my childhood, so it's probably from like the late 80s. They said that today's value is $6,500 for this card, so might have gone up.
Right, it went up a tad from when that was printed.
Yeah, maybe a touch. So I picked 3. I've got a few of his as well, but I picked 3 that I'm pretty proud to have.
Awesome, great issue.
Yeah, Crackerjack is always super cool. The T206 knockoff of sorts, the E95 is pretty phenomenal. I think that's one that if you're trying to get a marquee Plank, that's a win. And the other one I was shocked I have. I think it's the only one I have from that set, but the orange border.
The orange, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So those are pretty darn cool too. And the image of that, really for what it is pretty darn good. So Plank has to be on there. I think he's number 1 for Athletics WAR, I believe.
He is number 1.
I thought he was. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He is number 1. I think Ricky's number 2.
Sounds right. So I guess.
So I just simply don't like him. That's why he's not on my list. Yeah. In all actuality, I do not own the card. Otherwise, he'd be on my list. 100% full disclosure. I have a modern card of him somewhere. I had one, and my card room is a train wreck right now, so I couldn't find it. I was digging through, and I'm like, all right. After like literally an hour and a half of digging, I said, I'm just gonna pick somebody else at this point in time. So he would be on my list if I had a card. Is it on me or is it on you? It's on you, Aaron. So it's on you.
Yeah, I guess if you don't have
because Neal
you don't have an example
Yeah.
of so you're up to 4 and I'm up to 4. So I think we're at
No, you only have you and I, Neal's done. You and I have 3.
I'm done.
And Neal just picked Plank, so now
right.
it's on you to pick your 4th.
Yeah. So this is my 4th, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, correct. My bad.
Sorry, yeah. So this is where I think I went outside the box a little bit, and I was very dedicated. I did the same thing with the Dodgers. I took the example of it has to be Dodgers legend. This has to be Athletics legend. And when I think of the Athletics, it's hard not to think of Connie Mack.
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew that's where you were going. I
saw that episode and I was wondering the same thing, but
I knew you were going there. Fair.
I try not to be too player focused. He had about 3,700 career wins as a manager. So if you have to win 100 a year for 37 years to not quite match him, he's untouchable.
Statement named after him.
Yeah. He's maybe slightly impactful. There's a series of cards that are dedicated to him. So this is the Shakey's issue. It's kind of fun. I pulled the Fatima for that reason. So I got Connie Mack on there. And the other one that I will show that is one of my all-time favorite cards to pull. Two of them Mount Rushmore guys.
I knew it was. I knew that was it. Yep.
You got to go with that.
Lefty and Mac. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's 2 of my Mount Rushmore right there together. So I'm happy with that.
So that's your 4 then.
That's my 4th.
Okay, so I don't have any Connie Mack cards, I can tell you that. So I did not pick him. Neal, did you have a match as far as honorable mention?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was going to be in my honorable mention. I do have one Connie Mack.
Okay.
So on the game
Nice.
cards I'm trying to piece together, but these are extremely affordable.
Yep.
So, I mean, and just chock full of Hall of Famers and stars. It's just a great set. Yeah,
I've got one of those on my them on my list right now. Not that particular card, but somebody.
I do have a Connie Mack.
Awesome.
As an A's collector, you kind of have to, but I'd like to get more.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't have a Mac, and I didn't have a Plank. So my 4th pick was rough because I didn't know where to go with it. I'm still up in the air with it. So do I go? And I thought you might be leaning this way, and then I'm like, no, he picked Connie Mack. My question was, if you're picking based between my 4th is, I'm still up in the air. I've got one of each. I only pulled one of each, and I'm looking at them right now. If I'm going Athletics, I just you know what? I have to do this. I'm sorry. That'll be my top honorable mention. So his name was mentioned earlier by Neal. I am going to go with Al Simmons.
Wow. Okay.
So 68.5 WAR, Hall of Famer, 51.1 with the Athletics, 209 home runs of his 307 with the Athletics, lifetime average of 334, 1930-1931 batting title. 3 stints with the Athletics. So there's a couple players on this list. I think Ricky had 3 stints with the Athletics throughout his career. So it was really a toss-up. And this is the only Al Simmons I have, and any other future Al Simmons I have is probably going to be in a White Sox uniform because that's what I collect. So, but I wanted to add this. I was at a show not too long ago and picked it up for virtually nothing. So I had to do it. And I'm sorry, I apologize. This is the fine pen. So this is the fine pen issue. So, and that's the only one I have. I was up in the air with somebody else, and we'll see if he gets, obviously it's all honorable mention now. If we get to him, if he's chosen, I'll say that's the guy. So, so obviously no matches, right? Did you guys, either of you have him as an honorable mention?
Did you, Neal?
I did not have him as an honorable mention. I mean, I would have. I mean, how many do we have? Like 3?
As many as you want.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would have. If I would have had the cash in hand that I submitted a month ago, I probably would have talked about it. Because I mean, the guy could rake. He could play. He played a great left field, great range. didn't make a lot of errors. I mean, had a good runner from what I'm reading.
Yeah.
I never saw him play, but
right.
So yeah, I mean, Al Simmons, he's Al Simmons. I mean, just you can't go wrong. I mean, it's a great choice.
Yes.
I have one called. It's a modern Conlon collection.
Yeah, I've got a bunch
so
of it. Yeah. How about you, Aaron? Was he an honorable mention?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I said, my whole table's covered. Yeah. And it was tough because, like you, Jason, I tend to lean towards when I have a choice, I'll grab one when he's in the Sox jersey as opposed to, and he has Detroit time, so like, it's not always easy to find the examples, but the early stuff, which I try to still get. So yeah, I've got the cash in hand, so I'll show that one off. And I was feeling deficient on my R315s, so I grabbed an Al Simmons for that.
Great set.
It is a great set. I love the plaques. I love the name plates in the bottom. I think they're phenomenal.
I think Jason and I are going to be looking on eBay right after this is over.
Of course, every time I talk to him.
And then, of course, my set.
There it is, the 517.
So, yeah, you gotta snag one of those. So
the W value vintage set.
Yeah, that's always a win right there. So
all right, so we're all four. We matched on. I matched on 2, and then you guys matched on 3. Is that right? Eddie Plank, you both had.
Yep.
Right.
I didn't have Eddie Plank because I didn't have a card, but we all matched on Ricky, and we all matched on Lefty.
Yep.
Yes.
So not too shabby. All right, so now it's just like crazy time. We'll let Neal go first with an honorable mention that you think could have been there or is deserving of being recognized.
So I mean I like the advanced metrics. I don't know. I can't interpret all of them. I think some are ridiculous, but others are not, like WAR. But I don't put 100% credence in it, right? So I kind of look at positions, and this, even though it's wins above replacement, but way down, kind of on the way down the list, I saw one of the guys I really like and like to collect, and that's Mickey Cochran. So again, I have a number. Probably not like Aaron will pull out, but I have a number of, including my childhood. I love the issue.
Yeah, great issue.
Yeah, the buttercream.
Oh, beautiful.
1933. Wow. Yeah, it's they're thin. I wish PSA would do a better job because tapping these things into place was a pain. I mean, when this came in the mail a couple of years back, it was almost crooked. So,
right.
But it's just a great card. I don't even think the new holders, not that I'm going to waste money getting a reholder, but that's a good card. I do like the DeLong. There's a nice DeLong example.
My favorite is it looks like he is crapping out another player when you look at it up close.
You don't need one thing.
Right.
32 caramel, classic set. I once had a Babe Ruth about 10 years ago and sold it to buy some Mike Trout.
Oh, Lord.
I'm man enough to admit it.
Right, exactly. There you go.
My favorite card, one of my favorite cards in my collection is a 33. My girlfriend at the time bought me this card about 20-some years ago. And, so I married her because of that. So, why not buy you a card? Actually, if a girl goes to the card show with you, you might have a winner right there. So, again, another Wirtz Cochran, which is a really, really great image of him. And also an Aaron special. So, so whatever it is, that's why he's my honorable mention because I like to collect them. But one of the greatest catchers, certainly a top 10 catcher. Couple rings, couple MVPs. I think one with the A's and I think one with the Tigers. But good manager as well. So
part of the reason Jimmy Fox wasn't a catcher full time, right? Is that, if I'm not mistaken, is because they already had Mickey Cochran and they're like, nope, we don't need one. We're good.
I mean, he was good. Yeah. Great base runner too.
Now, is that an honorable mention match for you, Aaron?
Yeah, well, Mantle's namesake too, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Of course, that was his father's. I think his favorite player.
Yep. Yeah. We've all heard the same story, which is must be true.
on the internet.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you see it enough, it's real.
Exactly.
I pulled that one
Great call.
to steal and get kind of a bunch of our guys on there.
Yeah.
And then the other one I grabbed, your collection is insane. I'm inspired to go buy some Mickey Cochran cards right now, but I pulled out an exhibit.
1928 exhibit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that glove.
MVP here.
There you go. How crazy. Yeah, that's the fun of this. Like I've not taken a big deep dive on Mickey Cochran. He's not in my top 46 players that are in the rotation, but you have, and your collection is phenomenal.
Just
Right.
something about it. So, the reason I like the A's, I mean, I'm a Phillies fan, but we get influences from our parents, typically our father, just like I did, but it was my papa, who huge Philadelphia sports fan. And he liked the A's as well. And I remember him just telling me, sometime in the 80s, it was, the Phillies stunk. They would have their periods, and it should have been the Phillies that left, not the A's. And, I always liked them. I mean, as a kid, I grew up hearing the Philadelphia A's stories, and so I kind of like the Oakland Athletics as well. But, yeah. So
That's phenomenal. That is awesome. I can tell you he's not a match for me, because I don't own a card. So
you got some homework to do.
If I did, yeah, he's on my list of Wheaties panels. There's certain guys I want in Wheaties panels. I love that Wheaties panels. It's 35. That's on my list. He's also on my list for the DeLong, just because I think it's hilarious. So I mean, I love that.
I never thought about that until you mentioned
crapping out a second baseman. So I mean, I think it's fun. I'm childish like that. But he'd certainly be on my list. I'm going to bring up one guy, and I have more than one card. Again, digging through it, I only found one. I'm going to bring up a guy that this is who almost took Al Simmons' place on my Mount Rushmore, and you guys can tell me if it was even close. Actually, his WAR, you guys should know this. You probably know who I'm talking about then. His WAR is slightly higher than Al Simmons was as an A, and that's Sal Bando.
Wow.
And the reason I chose him, and this is who I was flipping, it was going to be him or Al. And when you look at his his statistics as an A, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
So he's 52.1 WAR as an A of his 61.5 WAR. What took him off of this is he's not a Hall of Famer. That's why I edged it to Al. But, that being said, he's got 3 back-to-back World Series wins as their third baseman. 11 of his 16 years was with that club. Just basically an anchor for that World Series team, in my opinion, minus one other guy we might. Yeah. So, I mean, that was my flip. It was either him or – now, mind you, had I had an Eddie Blank, there'd have been no discussion. I just didn't have the card. So, but that was my flip-flop. That's where I kind of went with that. So I kind of thought he might be the one that no one's like, what? Huh? Who? I always do that during one guy per episode.
Yeah.
Did either of you match with him?
I have a Sal Bando somewhere, but it's.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Right.
It's somewhere there. That 75 was awesome. That was like one of the first color matches.
Love the set.
Yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. That's a great card.
That is a great card.
Now I almost regret not putting him on the Mount Rushmore, because then it would have been what?
Now they'll know where the thumbnail comes from, right there.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
very good.
All right, who's back to you, Neal, right? Or no, you didn't give us an honorable mention yet, Aaron, have you?
Yeah, I don't think Aaron has.
Because you matched to Neal.
Yeah. Well,
I skipped you. I apologize. I skipped you.
No, skip me. I'm good. I've got a good several left anyway, but I'll go with the one that I can't believe no one's busted out yet.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, right. I mean, he has 2 Hall of Fame careers with 2 teams we all follow in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Plus he's a manager. Plus he's an Ivy League graduate. At least attendee. I think he graduated, right? Pretty gosh darn arrogant from what we hear, but I think he's the second best second baseman of all time.
Yep.
And of course, it's Eddie Collins. And
right.
have the restriction of having to find stuff with the A's, which I like having stuff in the White Sox, but his early career was so significant and his late career. So you get times at both ends. This is a W517 Mini, which is super cool and tough.
That is.
Get lots of these. I feel like these E102s, E10, a lot of them all look the same. So as long as you get one, you're probably happy. One of the few that have T205 with two different images. Yeah, so you got the mouth open, which is the tougher one. And then what do I have? Here's another one, another Tonight premiere, 1910 postcard.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
I needed something on that set.
Postcards. Love them.
Yeah. Pre-war oversized for the win.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I thought that would be a fun one to bust out tonight too. So
yeah.
So I can honestly tell you, I don't have a card. Nah, I think you know the reasons why I'm very particular about what I want to get for him.
Yes.
So I don't have any modern cards of him. He would have been of all the players we've discussed so far. Obviously, Eddie Plank and Eddie Collins would have been real. My Mount Rushmore would look a lot different had I had cards of those two guys. So Eddie Collins would have probably been my first honorable mention, in my world. But I didn't. Obviously, I don't have a card, so I didn't have him. How about you, Neil? Did you have him as an honorable?
Well, it's funny because he was one of the guys I was going back and forth on to be on the 4, and I don't know. I don't know if it was because of the two careers or what. I mean, but he had great success with both, and actually, Jason, like Al Simmons, I mean, a lot of his cards I think are better as a White Sox, but. I have. I think he's a White Sox here. This is 61 Fleer. Again,
Yeah.
I've had this since I was a kid. The only legit Eddie Collins I have from, way back in the day is the Pascal. Nice. Yeah,
beautiful card.
Yeah, I want to get there's a couple I want to get. And it's tough because I'm trying to do it like types. Trying to work on the PC. It never change. It never ends. And it kind of goes every which way, and I'll have it no other way. So, it just makes it fun. But yeah, I'm going to work on a couple different things, but that's the Eddie Collins I have. It started with trying to complete the $100,000 infield and just one of each one and painstakingly, and because I already had one, I had to, carefully choose the other images. So, but yeah, that's my Eddie Collins.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm very specific as to what I want from him. It's one card in particular that I really want, and it'll happen. Just not at the moment. A lot of expenses going on lately, so we'll focus on smaller stuff. But all right, so then, you can go, Neil, because I skipped Aaron, so actually it's your turn now.
Well, you got it. Just like with Sal Bando, I mean, three of them. I mean. Reggie Jackson, it's just MVP, bunch of rings. I mean, this was before that he was the straw that stirred the drink, but 70 and 71 top super. That's I have the 80 Reggie Jackson and a bunch of probably 87 through 90 or 89 Donruss and late stage of his Angels career, but they're just in a box. I do like the junk wax era a little bit. So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but Reggie would be my final one.
Okay. Did you match Reggie at all, Aaron?
Yeah, and in fact, I appreciate that so much. When I wanted to get one autographed, I made it exactly that one. So I love when you watch somebody's collection, on YouTube, or just talk to them and share, via text, and that's how you collect alike. When someone says like, I have this, you're like, dude, that's exactly the one I picked for the exact same reasons. It's phenomenal. I mean, getting the rookie is almost
great blue on that one.
It's tough not to do that. And then actually, if you're looking for the rookie on a budget, you can always go with the little cut out little sticker thing there. I think that was like $8 or $10 or something. And then actually talk about, here's my contribution to modern.
There it is. Nice.
Yeah.
I'll do some relic stuff just to get,
Oh,
because
yeah.
for me it's the images.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's cool to get the little jersey, and when you get it with a cool image, it's another option. So yeah.
we can I can tell you that of every player I've dug out, he's the one that's the biggest stack. I actually started pulling back because, much like Neal said, you could start. My stack for Reggie was as big as every stack I have here combined. So I'm like, I got to pull back. So the first bunch that I pulled are obviously in the A's uniform. So the 70 tops.
Yeah.
I do not have this rookie. We'll have it someday. It's not a top priority for me. 72.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And then we've got 72 in action. One of the ugliest cards that I've said multiple times on multiple shows, the 73. I just don't understand it, but whatever. That's cool. And, if that's how you want them to look, so be it. Here's the 74 Kellogg's.
That's awesome.
Great card. And then this is that 76. I can't even tell, guys. 76, 74. Yeah, I'm terrible with these. Oh, you're right. I got them in order. So 74, and then here's 75.
Nice.
And then I did break out a couple. The one that I had to break out, which is everybody loves this card, and Neal already showed it, but 78, right?
Yeah, so I have the 80. The 78's better. Okay. That's, I think, the 78 issue, for me, that had the best all-star logo.
Everybody loves that, right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm terrible with the years. I was the golden era guy. Now I'm learning the pre-war, and now I feel bad that the era that I grew up in, if it's not between 83 and 87, I'm like, I don't know what's what beyond that. And I grabbed more, but I'm not going to show. I've got 87, I got 81, a bunch of them with other teams, but we've seen plenty of Reggie. So now we can go to you, Aaron. I won't skip you because we were both matches. So I know Neal is done. Did you have any more?
Are you done, Neal?
I mean, I have a couple.
Oh yeah, if you got another one.
I got a couple.
I'll let Neal fire.
It's Aaron's turn, so
yeah, you're up anyways, Aaron.
No,
So.
all right. Well, I'll jump over to another one of the bests, which for me made this fun because when you looked through the team and you looked at, I think they have the best lefty of all time. I think they have the second best first baseman, second best second baseman. I think they have the best pre-war third baseman that I feel like never gets named. I feel like it's always Pie Trainer. And I will disagree. I think it's 4-time home run champion Frank Baker, who also scouted and found Jimmy Fox and was basically fired for giving away too cheap. So, it's the story of things. But actually, I like reading the story of these guys. Like he's a good human. He didn't drink. He didn't curse. He was a good family man. Everything about
the Colgans. Story. I love it.
Yeah. Colgans and the T205. I've got a really cool Frank Baker, but it's a Yankees era one on the way. So I will share that with you guys in text and on the channel at some point. But it's a neat
Neal
one.
had a match. Neal had a match while you were talking.
You matched?
Same card. My only Frank Baker.
Really? Okay.
Just a great image. I mean, great minds think alike, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're friends. That's exactly it.
There you go.
I'm not a match because I don't have a card. Almost had the Colgans from last year's National, I think. Yeah, but ended up going a different direction. So, but definitely Colgans is on my list for home run Baker. I love that card. So, so now that was Aaron. I'm not a match. It's me now. Then is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So then I'm gonna go. All right. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. At least I think of I think of him as an A. Again, a man who had a career with multiple teams. Fantastic pitcher. Rookie were 69. So he was part of that run of the 70s with them. And it's Raleigh. So I think he's deserving of being there. So that's the 70 tops. I love his 72 with the unibrow. It's phenomenal. Looks fantastic. And then I got his 75. And then I pulled a couple because you gotta have a Raleigh, a late Raleigh, 85 with the stash. He's with the Brewers at this point, so I had to pull that. And then I did pull one just to kind of show that he's with several teams. As most people who are watching this probably already know the teams he was with, but here he's with the Padres. So
Yeah.
So he was another big stack that I had. For those who don't know, I love rookie cards, but they're not always high on my priority. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to have something else over a rookie card. And it has nothing to do with budget. It's just if I really, really want that card or not is what it comes down to. So, but yeah, he was on my list. I don't know if did you match at all, Neil?
Not in front of me. I got a couple Raleigh fingers, more from the 80s.
Right.
But yeah, good choice.
Okay. How about you, Aaron?
Yeah. I think I have most of his run, but I didn't. The box is hard to get to.
right.
/ I was feeling lazy, so I just grabbed a couple of his relics that I thought were really neat and kind of same idea. It's just cool images. So yeah, Raleigh to me is one of the greatest relief pitchers ever. So
yes,
that has to put you somewhere in the conversation, regardless of position. If you're one of the best to ever do what you do.
Yeah, that's fair. I should have said relief pitcher when I said pitcher. You're right. That's very fair.
Pitchers.
True.
So we're cooking, and we're at an hour. You got any more, Neil? You got a few more? There's no time limit here. So
there's he was probably the greatest, next to Eddie Collins, the greatest second baseman for the 80s, and that's Spook Jacobs.
Oh wow! Okay.
Spook Jacobs had I think this is his entire career. These 3 cards.
Okay.
Wow.
54 to 56. But the reason I bring him up, Philadelphia and Kansas City Athletic, but more importantly, he was born and passed in my home state. So I remember reading about him as a kid, and I just thought it was cool that there was an ex-major leaguer with actually, it's not the 54 tops. I'm not a big fan of the white design, except on this one. The blue hat kind of, it's a nice design, but yeah. So I got Spook Jacobs. I don't know if you guys match that.
That's a no match for me.
Yeah, shocker.
I had to pull that out. So,
all right, maybe we'll rapid fire, Aaron. You want to rapid fire a couple because I know you got a stack in front of you. And rapid fire, and if Neil's got any more, he can rapid fire after that.
Do you have any more, Neil? Because I really have like 3 left. I can show three players.
I think I have. Well, I got just a great card. I thought you were going to go there when you were talking about the right-handed pitcher. Chief Bender. So,
how dare you go there? Yeah.
I just got maybe at least 3 cards that we had both had.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah,
and again,
it's
I don't have one. I wish I did. I don't have one.
Chiefs? Yeah, I pulled some Chiefs. T207.
Yeah, nice.
E90 is super cool.
That's classic.
That's a great one. And E95. I thought the colors on that were pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and
that's one of the. He's got some great cards, and I'll tell you, I mean, when it comes to a pre-war pitcher, he was really, really good. But he's priced like completely like a Joe Negro, so a pre-war. It's just
right.
Yeah.
He's still definitely a good bargain. He's an under the radar. I feel like people that know him and appreciate him, but the average person is not going to know Charles Bender.
Right.
Yeah.
Any others, sir? Yeah, rapid fire. If Neil's done, are you done, Neil?
Yeah, I'm done. If I have something, I'll pull it up. But 2 cards left. That's it.
Rapid fire. Go ahead, Aaron.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, the last 2 that I'll do, and then I'm done unless I can find something else to match, are 2 players that if we were to go people that ever played for the A's, Mount Rushmore might look different. So I would say the 3rd best second baseman of all time finished his career with the Athletics. So you got Knapp.
There's my match. The only Knapp Ledger I have. Modern card.
Nice.
He was on my list.
Yeah. And the other one that has, I think he had maybe 2 seasons. The back of this one talks about it, but Ty Cobb had a couple of seasons.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll drop some Ty on that to close it out in the weird, funky style of what I pick sometimes. So
I
Yeah,
can,
hey, they're athletics, right? So
right.
yeah,
How do we leave these guys out? Right?
that-
you gotta. I mean,
Yeah.
regardless of what you may think, you gotta add them.
Yeah.
Those two guys, I think that's my. There's one guy here. I have one guy left who I think was a solid player and kind of falls in under the radar. Vita Blue.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
It's 71 where
yeah.
that's a great one. Yeah.
I grabbed
some Vita.
Grabbed a Vita Blue too, a 73
Okay.
for me, 72 is
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, it's great stuff.
I am
Yeah,
struck
so-
out on Vita Blue. I can.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100%. Even in my binders, my boxes. I don't think I have one.
Really?
Maybe 81. Maybe 81. I do. That's
We'll
a
have to
giant.
send you,
but-
I'll send you some Vita. I'll send you some Vita Blue. Shoot.
Yeah,
Well, that covers my. I think that covers my desk, and we went through a lot of players.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it cracks me up because like you guys do collect a lot of like whipping out the same cards, and all cards on my list. You know, Chief Bender. You know, obviously Eddie Collins. Those guys are all on my list. So we'll revisit this in 2 or 3 years, and then I'll be able to match everything at that point.
You'll be, just shoving them out there.
Right.
We'll be catching up to you.
Well, I think that worked out well, guys. I think we'll call it an episode here. We'll wrap it up. I appreciate you jumping on, Neal. That was so much fun, man.
Hey, listen, fellas, I appreciate the invitation. Yeah, sincerely.
Absolute blast. So
Great channel.
those-
I'm happy to be here.
yeah, no, for those who don't know, Cardboard Coach Neal, the link will be in the description of this episode. Please give him a follow, give him a watch, check out some of his stuff. Obviously, you know he's got cool cards. You just saw a bunch of them, so that's fantastic and educational. I might add, you're always going to learn something.
Well, thank you.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we'll wrap it up. So again, guys, thanks for jumping on, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Mount Rushmore. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds great. Fellas, we'll
Alrighty.
see you next time.
Bye bye.
Yep.
Take care.
See you.